Hey YouTube, it's Nicky D, tranny, shemale, shim, ladyboy, faggot, girly boy, sissy, transvestite. Let me tell you about these women. Beautiful women, strong women, smart women, trans women. Let me tell you about these women. Women who live in both worlds, but neither at the same time. Let me tell you about these women. The ones that are over sexualized and underloved. Let me tell you about these women whose gender lies between their eyes and not between their legs. Let me tell you about these women. The ones that you screw and then it's on to the next because to you it's as if she has Mattel tattooed across her chest. Let me tell you about these women. The ones you insult and ridicule as if the makeup on her face protects her from the acid of your words. If you remove her makeup, if you remove that painted smile, you'll see scars from pain in the form of tears from the laughter and hurtful words that she hears. You see eyes that reflect a history and humanity and thoroughly understand that she isn't your personal fuck me, chuck me, or use me Susie. That she deserves to be respected, loved, and cherished for the uniqueness, beauty, and power that is her body. You'll see that she fits into neither world because she belongs to her own. A sisterhood. A sisterhood of the T. Tranny, faggot, sissy, lady boy, girly boy, sissy, shemale, gem, transvestite. So all pretty hateful words to describe these sisters of the T. Um, when it comes to me, that is the term that I use to describe myself and my fellow sisters of the T. Don't get me mistaken, I'm not insecure and I'm not in denial about what I am. I am transgendered and I love that about myself. I feel like those words all are like derogatory in their own way. So like whenever you hear me, 95% of the time when you hear me talk about another trans woman, I use the term either trans women or Sister of the T. Sister of the T, I made up. I wrote a poem called Sisters of the T. That was a small excerpt from it. Um, anyways, I that is, how I refer to them. Now, when it comes to the word transsexual, I hear I hear a very different thing than just transsexual. I hear like it's more of a sexuality thing, is what I'm hearing, because of the sexual that goes with it. And I personally believe that when it comes to, men who date trans women, that they need to really get out of, you know, or we need to lead them away from the whole over sexualization of of the sisters of the T, because like I said in the poem, we're over sexualized and underloved, and it's for a reason. It's because we are called transsexuals. When it comes to shemale and ladyboy and shim, my mind immediately goes to pornography. Because when you go to the adult bookstore, not that I've ever been, of course, that's just not what I do. But if one were to go to the adult bookstore, you would see that they are the transgendered pornography, the transsexual pornography is labeled shemale and transsexual, and even transvestite, which we will get to in a minute. But and so that is where my mind immediately goes. So if anybody, nobody has ever to this day called me a she-male, and we will hopefully keep it that way. When it comes to faggot, I don't identify with homosexuality, so like if they call me a faggot, it doesn't bother me. I get where they're going with it. It's like a well attempted. It's like if you see a dark skinned person and assume that they're African American, so you call them a nigger, but they're really like from like Puerto Rico or Brazil or South America, and they're just like a really dark Spanish person, and you just call them a nigger, and it's like, well, that doesn't really make sense. That's what kind of happens to me when people call me a faggot. It's just like, well, you just really said a very uneducated thing. But I mean, I get it was a great effort. Great effort. Maybe next time, you know. Of course, I read a bitch, but I'm just saying. Um, it doesn't really bug me. The one that does is one that I just cannot wrap my mind around. It gets to this it, I have never been called this word. I have had friends who have been called this word. Um, and I hear it all the time in the media. I do not support Jerry Springer. I do not support Maury because they both use these phrases. And it is transvestite. Whoa. Whoa. It is just such a disturbing word to hear. It's not friendly to the ears or to it doesn't taste good to say. It's just a nasty word. And like um again, it's not a word that I've ever been called. And so like I mean, I don't even know what I would do if somebody were to call me that. This girl, the worst word I can say I've ever been called wasn't tranny or anything like that. It was a chick with a dick. And I beat that girl's ass right after she said it. And I bet you she didn't call me it again to where I could hear her. I don't know if she said it after I beat her ass. She probably called me every other name in the book after I finished whooping her ass. But since that time, I bet you she learned from that first ass whooping. We're not going to call Nicky D a chick with a dick. We're just not going to do that. I get called. I've gotten called a tranny. I've gotten called um, a shim by the same girl whose ass I whooped. Um, I've been called. I get called just a man. Like when the people out here are not very creative, and I don't think they know the terminology very well, so they just say that's a guy, or like that's. And I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't care. I don't like it, but like it's not UTV, so um yeah, I think those are just really, like I said, ugly words, and I don't believe in using them. I see it as you let people, you teach people how to treat you. So when you tell people I'm transsexual, you're teaching people that there's just this over sexualized nature about you. When you tell people that I am a she-male, their mind is going to go where the last place they heard she-male. When you tell people, I am a transgendered woman, I like that. I've used that one before myself. Um, but it makes people think that you are not quite up to the role of playing a woman, of being a woman. That's what it would make me think, anyways. Like, to this day, when people ask, I define myself as a woman. If you want to know what I am, I'm a woman um, who happens to be transgendered. But I am a woman nonetheless. I do not downsize my femininity for anybody or any definition of any word. I just won't do that. And I feel like there are enough people out there that try to do it anyway. So why would I do it? Um, let me see. Have I covered everything? I covered how I felt about it. I covered what is Nicky D forgetting? Nicky D is forgetting something. Um, I don't know. Oh, no, I was saying it's an evolution. It's an evolution of wording. You know, there was a point where we were known, or everybody was known as transvestites. Then everybody wanted to be called transgender. Then everybody wanted to be called transsexuals. And everybody wanted to call trannies. Now, a lot of people are using the word sister of the T, which I find personally very flattering. Um, but it reminds me of just of black people. You know, at one point we were niggers and we were uh, the Negras, and then we were colored, and then we were Negro, and then we were African American, then we were black, or then we were black, and then we were African American. Excuse me. There's so many different terms, and you know, some people find offense if you use one of those old terms. If you say colored, some people are like, "Who the heck still says color? What are you talking about?" Or if you say Negro, you know, some people may find this to be not okay. It really just depends on who you are and what you're willing to accept, what you are willing, how you're willing to let people treat you. And that is how I see those words. So, this is your sister of the tea, Nikki D, answering your question of the week. And I'll talk to you guys next week.